The Battle of the Somme, one of the most brutal and infamous battles in military history. Over 1 million men were killed or wounded in just 4 months. But how did it unfold? Why did it become a symbol of the horrors of trench warfare? And what lessons did the world learn from this catastrophic clash? Join us as we uncover the deep-level history behind the bloodiest battle of World War I. By 1916, World War I had already dragged on for nearly 2 years, with neither the Allies nor the Central Powers making significant breakthroughs. The Western Front was locked in a deadly stalemate, with trench networks stretching from the North Sea to Switzerland. The Battle of Verdun, launched by the Germans in February 1916, had drained French forces. To relieve pressure on Verdun and break the stalemate, the British and French planned a massive offensive along the Somme River in northern France. But there was a problem. The British Army, led by General Douglas Haig, was largely inexperienced, composed of many new recruits from Lord Kitchener's Volunteer Army. The British and French High Command devised an ambitious plan. A week-long artillery barrage would obliterate German defenses, allowing British and French troops to simply march across no man's land and seize enemy positions. From June 24 to June 30, 1916, over 1.5 million shells rained down on German trenches. The British believed this would completely destroy barbed wire, machine gun nests, and defensive positions. But they underestimated the resilience of German fortifications. The Germans had constructed deep, reinforced bunkers that withstood the shelling. At 7:30 a.m. on July 1, 1916, the British went over the top. Thousands of men advanced in rigid formations, expecting minimal resistance. But as soon as they crossed no man's land, German machine guns erupted with merciless efficiency. Within hours, 19,000 British soldiers lay dead and 38,000 were wounded, the worst single day in British military history. The carefully planned offensive had turned into a massacre. The German defenses, though battered, had survived the bombardment, and the British were met with lethal firepower. Despite the catastrophic first day, the battle raged on. Haig refused to call off the offensive, believing that continued pressure would eventually wear down German forces. The British introduced new tactics, including smaller, localized attacks, but gains were minimal. In September, the first-ever tanks were deployed in combat. However, these early tanks were unreliable and often broke down, limiting their impact. Meanwhile, German reinforcements arrived, ensuring that every inch of ground was contested with ferocious resistance. By November 18, 1916, the battle finally ended. The Allies had advanced only about 6 miles at an unimaginable cost. Over 1.2 million casualties for 120,000 British, 200,000 French, and around 500,000 Germans. But what was gained? The battle failed to deliver the decisive breakthrough the Allies had hoped for. Yet, it did weaken the German army, forcing them to divert resources from Verdun and setting the stage for future offensives. The Battle of the Somme exposed the brutal realities of industrialized warfare. It highlighted the limits of traditional tactics in the face of modern firepower. While it failed to break the stalemate, it did contribute to the eventual exhaustion of Germany's military resources. Today, the Somme is remembered as a symbol of sacrifice and military miscalculation. Its lessons continue to shape military strategy and our understanding of the human cost of war. The Battle of the Somme, a bloodbath that changed the course of history. A reminder of the devastating price of war. If you found this deep dive into history insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth historical analyses. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning.